Fragpunk was officially released on Steam on March 7. So when I'm making this video, the game has been out about 6 weeks. Season 2 is around the corner, so I got interested to see how the game is doing at the moment, since I haven't played Fragpunk in a while, but also check out what to expect when it comes to Season 2. Last time I talked about Fragpunk, I mentioned the casual game modes in the game that I personally believe are the most fun to play in Fragpunk. They also play well for what it is. They're the most fun to play and suits the Fragpunk character's design and card system well. And I'm therefore hoping that this is something that the developers continue to add, meaning 1 or 2 respawn game modes of some sort. I also talked about the game only being available on PC at the moment, something that I do think is hurting the game, since a potential console version and a crossplay feature in place could most likely boost the numbers when it comes to Fragpunk. Because the numbers are currently not that great, already 1.5 months after release. Remember though that these are stats from Steam, and Fragpunk is also played in countries outside of the Steam area, so to say. As a matter of fact, when you look into where most people are playing Fragpunk, Asia is definitely on top, when it comes to countries such as China, Taiwan, etc. There's some European countries and also the US in the top 10, but there's quite a big difference in numbers when checking out where you'll find the most players active when it comes to Fragpunk. So what about Steam then? Well, as you can see, there's been around a 70% loss of players the last month, from 40k plus average players down to 12k players on average, and from a peak of 113k players down to around 30k peak players. This is quite a lot, meaning a big drop, and even though new games will drop players within the first month or couple of months even, before settle down, so to say, 70% is a big number. The question though is, why has so many people stopped playing Fragpunk? I believe it depends of course on who you're asking for sure, but I'm quite sure that some would say lack of content already, and some doesn't fancy the design when it comes to how, for example, the quite casual competitive game mode plays with the cards and everything. And some might be fed up with the heavy monetization system in the game that includes a lot of different currencies and options. But there's probably other reasons as well, so let me know your thoughts about this. When I'm posting the video, Season 2 is just a few days away. According to the dev team, they've been busy focusing on 3 major areas: finalizing the console version, developing new content, and optimizing the game based on community feedback. Now this sounds good on the paper, but what does it really mean? Well, they seem to be confident, saying that the console version should be in place around 2 months from now. Let's hope that they can keep that promise, since a console release when the summer starts would be good for the game. When it comes to new content, they've said that there will be over 70 new cards rolling out. They'll also add new events, and they've also revamped the rewards, or how they are delivered, I would say. There will also be a new team deathmatch map that will join the rotation. I was honestly hoping for even more maps, if I'm gonna be straight honest with you, because I do believe the game needs that kind of variation. They will also add a new Lancer that is supposed to be a high-skill aggressive attacker with a wild twist. Let's see what kind of character that is. Well, I was talking about arcade modes earlier, and they are adding 2 brand new arcade modes. Classic Clash is no frills bomb mode for fans of tactical shooters. On the other hand, Headshot only is headshot focus mode with a chaotic twist. Fan favorite modes like Blitz Bally and Chaos Clash are coming back, but with improvements. They've also shortened in arcade mode rotations from 3 days to daily refreshes. And TDM card balance updates are included too. Okay, fine again, but where's the simple domination mode, and why does all the arcade casual game modes have to be in rotation all the time? Well, that's my question. The devs have kind of answered that question, saying that unlocking all modes at once could lead to longer matchmaking times. They are currently exploring more flexible solutions, like mode selection options or intelligent rotation systems. Mode selection options sounds, at least for me, like a good and well-proven system idea when it comes to other games as well. Simply being able to tick the boxes for the game modes that you actually want to queue up for. Guess we'll know pretty soon what kind of system they will use or go for. And also, the new season, by the way, when it comes to Battle Pass, drops on April 29. Remember also that the ranks will be reset when Season 2 starts. There's a bit more to this, but you can read a bit for yourself if you want to know more. But I do think that at least this that I've talked about here and now gives us a hint of what's going to happen in Fragpunk the next upcoming weeks. Although I also see when looking at the notes from the devs that they are of course here for the long run when it comes to Fragpunk. They feel confident, at least that's a feeling I get when reading. And I believe the next upcoming month or two is going to be quite crucial for the game, both when it comes to how the new season will be received in general, but also, and maybe that's the most important aspect for the game at the moment, that they will be able to release the game on consoles as well, as mentioned before. If not, I do think that Fragpunk will continue to struggle to a certain extent, and new games will also meanwhile be released. That wants a piece of the cake as well. Personally, Fragpunk will continue to be a game that I play once in a while, and as mentioned earlier, mostly playing the casual respawn game modes to get some instant shooting action. And I therefore hope that the new game modes and updates will put some more energy and excitement into the game. And if they also are able to optimize the game even further, well, then that's a plus as well, since that can be a reason also for some when it comes to staying away from the more competitive bomb mode in Fragpunk, since the game isn't as snappy, if you will, as some of the competitors out there, at least not in a comparison with like Counter-Strike or similar. But I do hope for the sake of the player base that are investing both time and maybe also money into Fragpunk that the game will be able to establish itself further, get more updates and also see more seasons to come. But also for the FPS or shooter genre scene overall, competition is good and healthy since it also puts a bit more pressure, maybe some stress also on the bigger companies when it comes to the developers, the publishers, and that kind of benefits us, meaning the players in the long run. At least I hope that's the case. So fingers crossed that Fragpunk will get that console release as mentioned as soon as possible and some well-needed updates and fixes as well. With that said, I want to say thank you for watching, and as always I'm curious to hear your thoughts when it comes to Fragpunk and maybe also your thoughts when it comes to the upcoming Season 2 if you're also playing the game. Take care now, have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon in an upcoming video, and before that, just enjoy gaming and have fun. Take care, later.